Welcome to this look at the new mod system on console. What does it mean? What do we get? Come along with me, MrSealyp. And so, I'm back on Snowrunner, and the thing they said would never come to console is here. Once updated, if I scroll down, we now have Mod Browser. This is still very exciting on console. Now I'm playing this on PS5, just to put it out there. It's exactly the same as it is on PS4. It's not a different game, same game. It's just you can play it on PS5. So this is exactly the same on PS4. Should be the same on Xbox as far as I'm aware. So if I click on Mod Browser, this is what we get. As it stands at the moment, there are 32 mods. Earlier on there were 33, so there's one missing somewhere. At the time of recording this, now obviously it depends when you're watching this, there'll be way more on there, or there could be less, which would be a bit odd. But we do have a range here. We've got Frog's Custom Krawler, which I've already installed, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got the Super Voron Grads. There's vehicles, some we haven't seen before. We've got that little buggy. Then we've got packs, so we've got trailer pack there, so Pilgrim's trailer pack. There's a whole lot of different trailers. Then we've also got maps. Lake Chartreau, Krawler Valley, which I've installed. We've got a couple of other ones. If I scroll down onto the next page, there's a tank. We've got the M181 Ankh, MK38 Puma, more off-road tracks. That one I've installed, the M181 Azov 73210 TRSQ. That thing is incredible. I absolutely love that. Again, more maps, more vehicles. Now, more will be coming. Absolutely it will. There's the inclinometers, so you can install that. There's one as well that says, this one here, 6, 7, 8 and 10 slot trailers and more, so you can get trailers that will take up to 10, all sorts of stuff, which is really absolutely fantastic. Now, what do I need to do to install one? Simply go onto it. So that one there, the Frog's Monstrosity 2 26-door OBS Ford. On the right hand side, with my right stick, on the right hand side you'll see the bigger window. That gives all the information about that mod. So if I use my right stick, I can scroll up and down and look at all the information there if I want to about that particular mod. Then right at the bottom right hand side, we've got R3 to refresh, so refresh the menu. We can scroll descriptions, we've I've just shown you. Now to actually install the mod, you press and hold subscribe. So I'll do that now on the Frog's Monstrosity. So press and hold square, now it'll start spinning, and it should download that mod as it's doing. Something I should have mentioned just before, when you first click on this, it may ask you to almost like set up an account. It will ask for your email address. You put your email address in and it will send a code to your email address. You then put that code in and that kind of links up with the mod, I want to say OS, I think it's mod, or is it mod.io? And then it comes up with that. Download complete. Now, on the right hand side, it does say 525.6 megabytes. So it'll tell you what the actual megabyte download is for each one. Out of, and we've got, well, so far what I've got left is 3,545.9 megabytes free, which is absolutely wonderful. Now, it also then says off and on. So I can install loads of mods. Now, this is no different to on Farming Simulator 19, for example. So you can download the mod, install the mod, but then you can select it. So you don't have to have it selected. You can have them all sat here, but then not have them selected for whatever you're playing on. So what I'm going to do is click X. That puts it on. I can turn it off again. And if I want to get rid of it, I just press on square and unsubscribe, and it deletes the thing again. Takes it off, so I don't have it anymore. We'd also have a more option, which means we can select map, report mod, enable all, disable all. If you wanted to go for all the ones you've got, you can either enable all or disable all rather than do them individually. We've got the sort filter by pressing options, so we can go with date added, popular overall, name, subscribers, rating, so we can filter out ones if we want to look for something specific. And then we've got L3 for a focus search, which means you can actually type in a specific thing if you know a particular mod you're looking for to do that. That, in essence, that's installing mods. And that's selecting mods. Once that's done, I can come out of that menu. Now, when it comes to actually using any of these, I can just go back to my regular game and click on continue. Any mods that have been enabled will be available. You don't own them, you still have to buy them. And that will use whatever credit you've got and whatever level you're at on your current game. If I click on New Game, it gives me new campaign or custom scenarios. If I want to use a map, one of the mod maps I've just downloaded, I want custom scenarios. So if I click on that, it will show me the two that I've installed so far. I've got Cherokee Trails and Krawler Valley. So if I click on one of those, I haven't actually been on Krawler Valley yet, so if I click on Krawler Valley, I want to use slot 2, because slot 1 is the one I'm using. This is the point I would say be very careful. It will give you warnings and things. Be careful you don't delete your save game or anything like that. So I'm going to go on to slot 2. And it will upload. And there we are. We're on our custom map. That's what it looks like. We haven't unlocked any of it so far. It has a garage, or the recovery comes back to there. And on most mod maps, you will start with a vehicle, whatever it might be. If I go into my garage now, so if I go move to garage and press square, the only vehicles I'll have available, now this will be dependent on each custom map. This map, if you look at the top right hand corner, I've got pretty much unlimited credit, so I can buy whatever I want. The truck store is available, so I can buy any of the vehicles that are in game already. My truck storage will only have in any DLC or pre-ordered or paid for content, because all the rest of the stuff is in my main save game. If I want a mod, I'll go back to truck store and I'll go across to, I think it will be under, there's not a separate one for mods actually. The Krawler I installed, that's a mod, and it will say above it, so you've got the ones that are pre-ordered, the ones that are DLC, the ones that are in-game, and then the ones that are modded, like a turquoise blue. If I go right across there, and we go to this one here, which is Frog's Custom Krawler. Now, the options for doing any of the custom vehicles are pretty much the same. It will depend on how much money you've got, because one of the maps I tried earlier, on the top right-hand corner, I only had 5,000 credits. So what I did was all my DLC vehicles I had sitting there, I just sold them. That won't affect your main save game because it's a completely separate save. By doing it this way, it doesn't matter if you do that or not. So I'm going to click on that. So now we've got the custom Krawler. Now, oddly, that says global map. If I press global map, that's where we are, but we'll come back into here again. And we can customize. Now, on the actual mod hub, this said a range of colours. There will be options available, and it depends on the modder what they put in there. And prices as well will vary massively, again, depending on the modder, the creator of whatever it is. So let's upgrade the performance. Off-road gearbox, suspension lifted, tyres, and this is where things change quite a bit as well, depending on the vehicle. We've got 46-inch assassinators, excellent on-road, off-road and mud. Generic off-road tyre, again excellent in all three. We've got the 46-inch studded generic off-road tyre. Now that's good, or that's excellent on everything. On-road, off-road, mud and ice. That's a no-brainer. And then we've got the 49-inch assassinators, which are good on-road, off-road and mud, but doesn't say anything about ice. So it depends which option you want to go for. Now I don't think there's going to be any ice on the one we're on, so I'm going to go with the assassinators. Winch I think is stock. Now on this one, if I go across to that one there, customize, that's normally lights and things like that. There's no option, just rims, but there's nothing highlighted for colour. If I scroll L1 or R1, it doesn't give me a colour option. And if I click on that one for decorations, it just says TIS off-road built by Capone. But that's all. There's no other options. It's not give me any interior custom or exterior. Again, that will change depending on what mod it is that you've actually downloaded. So I'll leave the garage. We are now out and about in the world. Turn my lights on. Custom map, custom mod, on console, PlayStation 5. Sound is great. Graphics are excellent. Everything doing exactly what it should be. I'm getting no frame rate issues. I'm getting no nonsense. And a lot of people say, oh, it'll work, but it won't work properly. Nope. no problems at all. Now, this isn't so much about the actual mod. I may actually, I'm just thinking the same as I do with Farming Simulator, I might pick mods every now and again and do a kind of mod review, look at how capable a vehicle is. This thing, this is by TNB Exo Frog's Custom Krawler, and from what I understand from watching a few different YouTubers that have been doing mud runner and spin tyres and stuff for a long time, Exo Froggy has got quite a good reputation for mods, and this thing, incredible suspension travel. This is a proper rock crawler. This is, you know, and I think again we've got another step with now the fact we have mods on console. It's a whole nother element to the game. So whereas coming on and doing jobs and contracts and transporting and hauling and that kind of stuff, you could just come on and have fun. I mean, you could have fun before, but this kind of thing is absolutely brilliant. And with the more mods that come and with the more maps that come, I just can't imagine what's going to be in the pipeline, and that's absolutely fantastic. Now, where does that leave us with regard to the regular game itself? Well, what I'm going to do is drop out of here, as you can see. Now, don't think this thing is invulnerable. It's not. I had a bit of a fiddle around with it earlier, and yeah, you can get damage, you can roll it, you can get it stuck. Believe me, some of these maps are tricky, and that's the whole point of it. But it is incredibly good fun. So what I'm going to do is go back to my main menu. Now, if I go to load game, it gives me my two options here. Now, I don't necessarily want to keep that saved for the time being, so because I'm going to go and do, so I'm going to delete that. Now, again, be careful if you're going to delete any of your saved games. Make sure. I mean, I know it's highlighted, but just make sure that you're deleting the right one. So I'm going to delete that, and I've got my flooded foothills. So that's my saved game from before. That hasn't been affected, hasn't been touched. If I click on that one and load up my flooded foothills save. I'm currently in my Chevrolet Apache because this is my ongoing gameplay. If I go to garage, it's unlocked on here. So this is my regular game, so top right hand corner, it's the level I'm at, the currency I had, whatever money I had there. If I go to truck storage, now I have already taken the liberty of downloading some other mods. I've got the BTR Gas, which I've bought. I've got the Azov 73210 TRSQ M181. That thing I think is awesome. I've also got Frog's Custom Krawler. Now those, like I say, you have to buy them. You don't have them just because you've downloaded and installed them. You've still got to buy them, and you've still got to pay to customize them. So what I'll do is, for example, let's jump on this one. If I go to customize, there's a whole load of options that you don't get with the standard one. So this is the 10-wheel drive. This has got a raised one. This has got a whole load of different tyre options. I've got studded tyres, a better engine. We've got a roof rack. There's a whole load of different beds. Again, it will depend on the modder. It will depend on the mod, what options you get available, and also it's going to depend what level you're at, and also how much money you've got available, whether you can customize them up to the full amount. It also comes with absolutely loads of different colors, and again, that will depend on the modder, but just a huge array of different colors available on this particular one. So what I'm going to do is leave the garage. So I'm on my regular one. See what I will do. What time is it? Let's skip ahead to the morning. Turn my beacons off. Put my lights on anyway. So I'm now on my current Yukon save game using a modded vehicle. So it's not just for modded maps, you can use them on anything. I know people say that's obvious. Not necessarily, and not necessarily for everyone. Not everyone would be aware of that. Now, the argument will be made, and it's no different to any mods on any game. If you're going to use modded vehicles on your current save games to complete contracts and stuff, that's cheating. Well, again, that's debatable, and it's also your choice. if you want to, and you want to make your life easier, if you want to use a custom vehicle, I mean, this thing, just the fact that this is raised, I think this has got the adjustable suspension, so I'm pretty sure I can adjust it. Let's put my handbrake on. Let's go on to that. Change suspension mode. Look at that. So come off that. That's a whole new ball game, especially with this particular vehicle, because I absolutely love this vehicle in the standard form, but having this with studded tyres which will go over ice and everything perform really, really well, and the ability to raise it right up on the suspension, and the fact you've got a roof rack now and all that kind of stuff. Now, is it cheating? Potentially, but it's not so far out of the realms of possibility to use something like this. If I was using something, you know, there are going to be ridiculous mods that come out, but what's wrong with that? Same as it is on any other game with mod support and mods available, you don't have to use them. You don't have to install them. You can install the ones you want. If you're a purist, then don't use the mods at all. If there are mods that are really kind of accurate to real life and not insane and bonkers and over the top, you may want to stick with those. If you're really not bothered, great. And I think that's what modding brings to a game. It opens it up to all sorts of stuff. And like I say, this is then a next level. This game is so far beyond MudRunner now. You know, with all the stuff that we had already, with all the new phases, with all the new tasks and missions and deliveries, to add modding into this whole thing now, and this ability on console, it's phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Now, this is by no means a full kind of, this is not a mod review of this particular mod. It wasn't a mod review of the Rock Crawler. I've forgotten who this one was by. I will check, and on the screen it should come up now who this particular mod is by, because if I'm going to be using any mods on any particular videos, especially if I'm doing mod reviews, I think it's got rear steer. Has the other one got rear steer? I don't know if it has. But rear steer as well, which makes the turning absolutely amazing. So this is just a quick look at the fact, yes, we have mods. This is how you install them. This is how you get them. This is how you use them, not just on custom maps, but on your current save games. And you can also then go back and any of those pesky missions and things you're having trouble with, or you just want to have a blat around on one of the other maps with some custom machinery, you absolutely can. But I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So to all the naysayers that said it would never happen, it's here and it's cool. In-cab, just as good too. Now on the customization, you've got all the bubble heads, and you've got the whoa, that went a bit fast. You've got the bubble heads and stickers, and I've got the outside sticker, I think, on the door. Harsh driver. There's all the different options available. But this is next level now. It may have been a little bit dark before. Let's get into a little bit of light here. So I want to adjust that suspension again, because that was just brilliant. I love it. And it's still a little bit shady, isn't it? But handbrake on. Let's drop it down again. So we want to go change suspension mode. Can't stop smiling. It's fantastic. And that's it, really, just for this quick look at. I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.